Hey, all about fishing with Big Kev. Stay tuned. Video 4, our last video, we're going to put everything I've taught you together and you'll be on your way to the pond. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back. All about fishing with Big Kev. Hey, video 4. We're going to put everything I taught you in the first 3 videos together. So let's get started, get you on the water. So the first thing we're going to do, we're using the spin cast combo. This is the reel and rod that I showed you earlier. We got the string all set up. Got it coming out of the pole. Got plenty of it out here so I can get in front of the camera. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our hook on. So I've got our number 2 hook. Showed you that in the video. We're going to run it through. We're going to do the Palomar knot. Run it through, back through the eye. Create that loop, overhand knot, got that loop there, put your hook through it, pull everything tight, wet your knot and cinch it up real good, okay? So we got our extra here, we got to trim that off. So we use our fingernail clippers, about 1/8 of an inch back. We'll trim that off. Please dispose of your used monofilament properly. Do not throw it in the lake. Do not lay it on the ground. Dispose of it in a recycling bin or the trash, please. It does not go away and it harms wildlife, gets into boats and everything else. So now we're going to get our split shot weight. I showed you these earlier. You just need one. You're going to take your needle nose pliers, pinch the ears, open that weight up. You're going to go about 1 foot above the hook. You're going to stick the line in that crack of that weight, like so. And then you're going to pinch it shut. And it'll stay right there. So now you got your hook and your weight. Next is your bobber, if you should use a bobber. I'm going to show you with a bobber. You can fish just like that. You can throw a hot dog on there, throw it out, and probably catch a catfish. So your bobber, again, the bobber sets the depth of the hook, and it also is a strike indicator if you got a fish. So this is the bottom of the bobber. This is the top of the bobber. You're going to hook the bottom bobber. If you push these bobbers in, that little hook on the bottom comes out. I don't know if you can see that in the video. So you're going to push that bobber in, wrap your line around that hook and let go. That hangs on like that. Then you're going to push the top of the bobber down and expose that hook and stick your line through it. So now your bobber's sitting like that with the string going around the side, then up. So now you've got your hook, your weight, and your bobber. That hook, that bait is going to be about 3 foot underwater. Now you can put a worm on there, whatever you want to put. You're set and you're ready to fish. Bobber, split shot weight, number 2 hook. That's all you need right there. So that's a live bait setup. Bobber's optional. So now let's do an artificial bait. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. So again, it's the bobber, the weight, and the hook. So I've cut that off. Now I got my marabou jig. So I'm going to run the line through the eye, and I'm going to tie the improved clinch knot. So I'm going to spin that jig 4 or 5 times. I'm going to run the line through that loop that I created at the eye, right there, which creates this loop. I'm going to grab that end of that string, like so, wet that knot with my fingers, pull it tight, just like that. Now I've got this extra string on here, but I need to clip it off with my fingernail clippers, about 1/8 of an inch. Dispose of my line properly. And now you're fishing with artificial lures. These you're going to cast and retrieve, cast and retrieve, cast and retrieve constantly. You don't throw this out and just let it sit on the bottom. I guess you could, I don't know what would happen, but it's designed to cast and retrieve. Now, if you wanted to, you could take a bobber, pinch it on the top, pinch it on the, this one's kind of bent. Like so. And then let that lure hang like that with a bobber. And then if you want to change your depth, just slide your bobber down. But that's a bobber and a jig for like crappie fishing, panfish jigging. Okay, white bass, largemouth bass. That you would cast out and just leave set and let it just sit in the water, and the waves will give this a little bit of action underwater, but then they'll swim up and bite it and your bobber will disappear. So hopefully that's given you some ideas on 2 simple processes. Live bait with a bobber as 1, and then artificial lure and artificial lure with a bobber as 2. 2 very simple techniques, 2 very simple, inexpensive techniques to get you out on that water and start catching fish. Hey, like and subscribe. Hopefully these last 4 videos have taught you a little something about getting started in fishing. I've tried to explain the least expensive way of doing it, and outside of a cane pole, and that's a whole different game. But with a rod and reel, the minimal tackle, the cheapest tackle box you can buy, get you on the water. Don't forget your laws, don't forget your license, and don't forget to have fun, enjoy time with your family. Until then, tie lines everyone. Happy fishing.